What's up guys, Lorax is back and today I'm going to be playing Tints of Black. So this is a visual novel game. It's available on Game Jolt, that's where I downloaded it from. And I'm not going to go into the whole backstory of it, but TLDR is, I'm a voice actor and I'm in this game. You're going to actually see my character pretty soon. Shout out Director CSR, he made this game and he let me be a part of it, and you know, I really appreciate it. Alright, so I guess we can jump right in. There is actually title screen music. I just turned it way down because it's blaring. Oh yeah, listen to those sick beats. Okay, enough of that. Let's jump right in. I've been constantly having this dream. I chase down a random set of my peers from high school and murder them. It's usually the popular kids, my classmates, or those I am forced to interact with on a more daily basis. It does disturb me to have such thoughts. Doesn't matter how they treat me. I've never seen murder as an option. If anything, I'd be more self-destructive than homicidal. I know I can't tell the school counselor. They just use it as an excuse to expel me. The school's goth is an easy target for being seen as such a threat. If I told them, I know they'd ignore the fact that the very last person I always kill is myself. I don't mean to say that I stab myself in remorse or anything. I literally am there, in front of my own eyes. I chase me down and kill me like the rest. Perhaps I am not seeing through my own eyes in my dream. Alright, here we go. I try to live my daily life, just making it through the drone and disaster. All around me is static and monochrome, and I do my best to not disappear in it. I am well aware that I'm not the center of anyone's universes. I know the gossip and banter isn't solely focused on me, but their jeering gazes and prodding words somehow make their way to me every once in a while. They all think they're being creative. They all think they're above it all. If they hate me so much, why waste so much effort? Everything is just so monochrome. Now obviously everything is monochrome, it's all gray and stuff. We're almost done, Shay. We're almost done. Now we're just getting started. Prom night came and I thought perhaps I would try to be a normal high school senior for once. After all, my foster program helps me get in. Oh wow. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the music down. I think it's a little bit loud. Alright, there we go. I want to hear the voices, you know?
Who knows? Maybe I'll have fun.
There we go.
Is that Foster?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow.
And I spoke too soon.
Wow, you actually came to prom, did you? Coming on your
Oh,
own
wow.
date must have been embarrassing.
Dude.
I mean, after all, who'd want to be seen with a moody bitch like you?
I know I wouldn't.
Of course not. You got taste, babe.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
Foster came to prom? It's not a you thing.
They all think they're being creative by calling me by my surname, trying to constantly remind me that I am an orphan with a name that reminds me of my predicament.
Perhaps she thinks it's not too late to turn things around and be normal.
Just leave me alone. Honestly, you guys are supposed to be enjoying prom. Why waste time on me?
It's hard to enjoy when your gloomy mug's here.
Damn, bro.
I don't want any trouble.
Don't act like you're not constantly looking for attention. Just look at the way that you dress.
Oh, damn, man.
You even thought coming to prom and your vampire wannabe fashion was a good idea? Oh, of course you're gonna draw a crowd.
You know what? Fine. I'll leave. I'm not much of a dancer anyway.
Ooh. I began to make my way from the crowd, removing my shrug as I did so, though I felt the presence of my peers not far behind me.
Aiden!
Whoa, that's me.
Huh? What's up, Molly?
Oh my gosh.
Come on, and bring your camera too.
Oh, okay.
Alright, that's me. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna pause. Oh my gosh, wow. That's wacky, that's me. Okay, I think I'm beginning to understand. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the booming voices is like part of Shay's inner thoughts, and her voice is like normal. It's a normal volume compared to all these other super loud voices that are coming in and disrupting her. That's my guess. But yeah, I think that actually makes sense. It's kind of like her way of showing how she feels about all these other people and how they're collapsing in on her while she's just trying to keep to herself. I don't know, I'm being deep about this, but let's just keep going.
Hey, Foster, where the hell do you think you're going?
What is their problem? Am I honestly worth the fuss to them?
We're talking to you, you moody bitch.
Oh
Hey,
my
Cinderella.
gosh.
We only want to make sure you enjoy the ball.
What are they gonna do? Rip up my dress like the evil stepsisters? Why did I come?
They began to close in on me, and I found myself cornered as I had simply just been wandering randomly in attempts to shake them off.
Aiden, make sure you get some shots of this.
Yeah, that's me. My name's Aiden in this. Back pressed against the wall, I scanned the area to find my escape. That was until I noticed a black van was slowly pulling up into view.
What, are you about to start begging for your Prince Charming?
Oh crap. Oh crap, you can hear the van.
No, behind you!
Okay.
Do you think we're stupid enough to fall for something like that?
I was focused and fixated on the van, and I was rightfully so. Men wearing animal masks began to emerge from it, and all I could think about was the recent news stories involving the kidnapping and murder of mainly adolescent girls. Ooh. Oh, that's not good.
No, shit!
Molly actually seemed to believe my concern and started to turn her head to look back, probably recognizing the genuine fear on my face and in my voice. But it was too late. A man in what I presumed to be a jackal mask had waltzed right up behind her, whilst a man lion's mask got behind Aiden. She was about to scream, but the jackal used the back of a shotgun to smack her right in the temple. The lion did what I could only assume was to chloroform her male partner, rendering them both unconscious. As this took place, the rest of the party realized what was happening and almost lost their shit. Oh my gosh. Hold up a minute. What is going on here?
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is for real. Suddenly they were just as surrounded as I was. How the tables had turned. The masked men moved in toward the other three. Maya and Jane holding each other and Josiah about ready to charge.
Get the fuck away, you fucking freaks!
Oh man. Typical that the jock would try playing here in front of his girlfriend, and the girl I am pretty sure he was cheating with. After he tried getting under my skirt and then spreading rumors about me when I rejected him, I was under no illusions of what he was about. Josiah swung a punch and attempted to make a good fight. He actually knocked the jackal back, but I knew it would be in vain.
God damn it, he's a fighter.
Ooh, wait, the bear? Oh, the bear. Or the boar, I can't tell what that
It's
says.
not worth the trouble.
The lion. Oh, the boar.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh, who are these people? Oh no! What is that? Oh wow. No, that could not have been you. You're not being a jackass and getting shot in the head.
Shut those two up already. They're gonna draw attention.
The jackal sounded really irritated, and I'm sure it was because he had just had his ass handed to him by a teenager despite being armed with a shotgun. Didn't help that he was short and Josiah is tall. Was tall. Well, he's dead now.
I mean, just because he's dead doesn't mean he's not tall anymore. It's still so surreal that he's dead.
Yeah, I guess. I stood silently and looked on. It's not that I felt nothing, in fact I was terrified. Everything was happening so fast and I was partially still processing all of it. The men seemed to have their focus turned toward the high school girls, and as wrong as it seemed for me to try not to help them, I sped past the crowd in attempts to make an escape. Even if I couldn't get the others out of there, I could at least try finding an authority figure that could.
Fuck! Stop her!
Oh no.
Since when have you been in charge?
Foster, don't leave us!
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you, friends. The driver of the van was a man with a bird mask that was very Plague Doctor-esque, and he ended up cutting me off with the vehicle. His window was down, and I could see a bat on the seat. What? Okay.
Somebody gonna grab her?
Oh, no. Behind me, I could only assume that the two I left behind had been rendered unconscious or murdered based on their silence. There was still a chance that I could make an escape if they were distracted behind me. I could be speedy if needed, and neither my skirt was too long or tight, nor my heels too high or thin. Ooh, okay, decision time. Oh, wow. I'm gonna pause for a second. So, I think I see what's happening now. The white text is Shay, like, reliving the events. Whereas the gray text from her and her, peers, that's, like, her in the moment. That's what she's thinking right at the moment. Whereas the white text happened later on. Okay. I think I got it. Ooh. I don't know, dude. I'm gonna try to fight back. I hurriedly reached inside of the van, picking up the bat from the passenger seat while simultaneously grabbing a hold of the driver's mask to pull him in and knock back his head. Okay, it's a baseball bat, not an animal bat. I got really confused. I turned around, ready with the bat, and swung it at the nearest person behind me, which was the boar. I knocked him back with the first blow, and everyone around me was clearly in shock.
Fucking hell!
I went for another hit, swinging the bat down at his head this time, which was for sure to be a fatal move. I suddenly heard a sound of gunfire and felt an immense pain in my abdomen. Sending me back with a powerful blow, the jackal's head shot at me with the shotgun he was carrying.
Oh shit, Clyde's gonna be pissed.
Clyde?
Chuckles! What? She was gonna fuck up Elijah.
They all eventually stood over me and watched as I began to snivel in pain, bleeding out in front of the van. Oh no.
No. Damn it!
Bro, sorry, but can you blame me? I think Elijah prefers his brains to not be on the sidewalk.
I don't know about Elijah, but,
Chuckles, you better not shot holes in my van.
Fuck off, dude. Clyde's having heartbreak right now.
Don't worry, Davis. Your van is fine. Elijah, you good too?
Yeah. I'll live.
Okay, Elijah's the boar, Clyde's the wolf. I'm pretty sure the jackal is Chuckles, if I remember, because I also auditioned for that character, and that's Davis, the bird.
Good, because we gotta get out of here. Now.
Yeah. Get everyone in the van. We can't just leave them, so we may as well just take them.
Can't let some unexpected mishaps spoil the fun, am I right?
Shay too.
Bro, she's done for.
How do they know my name?
We need to dispose of her. We can't leave her.
He's got a point. We never leave behind a trace, so the corpse comes with us. Can't leave evidence or they might identify us.
How casually they were all talking as I sat there dying in front of them. Somehow the wolf did seem to care, and like he was about to start pacing in front of me. How'd they know my name? Yeah, that's what I want to know too. The jackal, boar, and lion left my side to go and grab the unconscious teenagers.
Yo, Clyde, you gonna help? You're kind of the muscle here.
Leave him be, Chuckles. He's going through a lot. Besides, we can handle most of this ourselves.
I'm the one who nearly got my brains beaten in, Easton.
I'll help.
Okay. I began losing feeling and my sight darkened. The man in the wolf mask was the last thing I saw. Dead end red shade. Oh crap, what happened? Why? Oh no! Did we die? Oh, I think we died. That's not... Oh no. Ooh. Ooh, wow. That's it. I just, I straight up just died on them. So I can't actually do anything now? Oh yeah, I'm starting over. Alright, I'm gonna cut it here. And I'll be back where I left off. I'm gonna make a different decision where hopefully I don't die right away. I'm gonna try to make a run for it this time.
Aw, shit.
I could hear the driver get out of the car and give chase. On top of that was the sound of someone else jumping over the hood, a rather heavy someone.
Help!
I tried crying out, but before I could get to a populated area, I was yanked back by a man in a wolf mask. He began to chloroform me just like Aiden had been before. The bird caught up with us and helped the wolf carry me back as I was fighting both of them and the inevitable state of unconsciousness that was to come before me.
Come on. Get the rest of them in the van.
Even as I haphazardly stood by the mobile, I still kept trying to pry the wolf's hand from my face in vain. Eventually I passed out.
Foster!
What?
Foster! Foster!
Oh, I see what's happening now. Next thing I knew, I was awake in a shabby bed in what was presumably a run-down and abandoned house.
Foster? Are you finally awake?
I looked over to the corner of the room to see Maya tied up in the corner. I still felt to be in a tizzy, but found the strength to sit up finally.
What's this?
On the bed, tucked right by me, was a folded up note with my name on the outside.
What are you doing? What are you looking at? Come over here and untie me.
Before I do anything, I'm taking off my corset, cause,
Yeah. Ignoring the demands of my hold on.
Before I do anything...
Oh, the corset, okay. Yes, sir. Ignoring the demands of my acquaintance and taking off a layer, I opened up the letter and began to read it. Clearly, it was written by more than one person. There was also a key left inside of it. Rise and shine, sis. Apologies for the rough start, but it was all well-meaning in the end. I've is crossed out. We've had an eye on you for a while now. Wanted to initiate you into the family. That is, if you want to join. But you have to meet us halfway. There has been a series of trials prepared for you by each of us to help prove your willingness to join and your understanding of who we are. Pass these and you can become one of us and keep your life. Well, what is that about? Why do I want to join your weirdo gang? I don't know, dude. We've included a map. The drawing is courtesy of Chuckles. That shows where each trial is located and how you can get to them from where you are. We'll be having our own games going on while you do yours, but you are more than welcome to participate in our festivities. P.S. I have left you one of my old hunting knives and its boot holster. I know how much your peers have hurt you, so I thought I would serve this one up to you on a platter. You don't have to kill her, but the choice is yours.
Do they mean Maya?
What? What did you just read? Foster, answer me.
My eyes made their way over to the girl in the corner, and then found their way back to the foot of the bed. I reached down toward my ankle and saw that I did indeed have a knife holster attached to my boot. I almost instinctively unsheathed the weapon to observe it.
Oh my god, you're one of them, aren't you?
What?
You have a knife, and you are tied up. Of course you'd be one of them. You cops are all obsessed with death. Help! Help!
Would you shut up? I'm not one of them, and clearly there isn't anyone around to help us. I'm pretty sure the only people here besides us are the ones who brought us here, and something tells me they don't want to help us.
I found you out, Foster. Stop playing dumb. Why else would they have targeted us?
Do you ever pay attention to the news aside from Teen Weekly? These people have been terrorizing our county and those nearby for the past few months now. It was stupid of our school to hold our prom without any security or precautions.
Wow.
It was even more stupid of me to come.
Well then untie me, and let's get out of here.
What's in it for me?
What?
Don't get me wrong, safety in numbers and all, but the last encounter I recall having with you is your gaggle of bitches chasing me outside to an isolated area to presumably beat the shit out of me after having told y'all to leave me alone.
That's valid.
I'm sorry. I was just following Jane's lead, I swear.
She was full of it. Maya Potts, a swimming team champion, an on-again, off-again girlfriend of one of the school's most popular boys, a boy who I actually had a brief fling with between one of their off-again phases. The moment word got around about our relationship, Maya was relentlessly had it out for me. It's not like the two of us got very far or serious. I'm sure he would have beat me up for what's under my skirt. That, and he wanted to keep it hush that he was dating the school's goth. Maya made it like I stole him away from her, and then he was cheating on her with me. I was under the impression that they broke up when he asked me out. Fucking high schoolers and their stupid ass drama. Either way, since she found out, she has been verbally abusing me at school with the occasion of getting physical. She's even had her friends help out and gang up on me. They've of course taken advantage of the internet, and the newly coined term of cyberbullying has been a common occurrence for me. Things got worse when I caught her cheating with Josiah Tucker, the boyfriend of Jane Rotten? Perhaps she thought it could shut me up. At the rate everything's been going, there's been a growing concern that I'll be the new Phoebe Prince. Phoebe Prince. Okay. Oof. What do we do? Oh man. By the way, the train's coming by my house. I guess the humane thing to do is cut her free. Of course, I actually meant what I asked. I was going to help her whether or not she deserved it or made a good case for herself. Two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, thank you. After all, and our chances were going to be better if we stuck together. Besides, I read about what these people do to their victims. I couldn't in good conscience just leave someone to such an atrocious fate. They weren't going to just murder her. They'd torture, rape, and then violate her even in death. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. Yeah, why would I want to join them? What the hell? I got up from the bed and cut Maya free of her bindings. Okay, now she's colorful and it's not monochromatic like it was before. So is her voice still gonna be booming loud like it was?
About time.
There it is.
You had me worried there for a second.
Alright. So once the colored people... That sounds weird. But the colored people, those people have normal voices and they're like the normal people in this thing. The monochromatic people, that's the bad stuff. Bad. You don't want that. And they have loud booming voices that she doesn't like. Okay.
Believe me, it might have been satisfying to just ditch you, but I actually have a conscience. Though, I don't expect you to understand what that is.
What? You think you're better than me?
Oh my god.
Would you have untied me? Something tells me not only would you have left me to my own defenses, you would have been one of the people to tie me up in the first place.
That's not fair.
What part? Reminding you that I think you're a piece of shit because you treat me like you're one? Yeah, not fair to remember that actions have consequences.
Foster... I mean... Shay... I'm sorry.
How strange. I can see her face. She has color.
Oh yeah.
Good for you.
Wow, really?
I don't owe you anything, especially not to just accept your apology simply because you gave one. Let's just get out of here.
The two of us peered out from behind the only door in the room, eventually exited, and once we saw that the coast was clear.
So what now?
We try not to be found, I guess. The news makes it sound like they bring their victims here to be hunted down and killed, so let's try to be as discreet as possible.
Wait, do you hear that?
We both took a pause and listened. I hear what sounded like crying out and calling.
I think that's Jane.
Without almost any impulse control, Maya jumped away from my side and began to run off into the distance. Oh no.
Wait, Maya, we need to stick together.
I was about to follow after her until I realized how noisy my boots made me.
Sound alert. If I don't take these off, I could get us found.
I reached for my boots and heard the crumpling of paper, reminding myself of the trials and the map I had been given. I suppose I had subconsciously folded up the pieces of paper and put them in my boots when discovering the knife. I pulled out the map and began to examine it.
Of course they wouldn't mark any exits.
Of course not. The room that was to be my first destination was marked as the one directly across from where I started. Directly in front of me. Clyde's room. a little wolf head drawn to mark its owner.
The wolf. Is his name Clyde?
After Clyde, I was to make my way to Easton the lion, Davis the bird, Elijah the boar, and then Chuckles the jackal. Or at least at trials, whatever that meant. I seem to have gotten distracted by the idea of this Easter egg hunt and made my way to the door. I tried the knob, but it was locked. Luckily, I had a key that had been given to me with the letter. I tried it and was able to open the door. Ooh, wow. He's a big boy. Inside the room stood a tall man in a jean jumpsuit with a bandana over his face. I could only guess this was Clyde the wolf.
Shay, I'm glad to see you're awake.
How strange it was to me that I could see his face. Well, clearly half of it was covered by a bandana. But I could actually see him. It was in the moment that it also dawned on me how clear all their voices were. No static, no monochrome. They were all completely here and in front of me. But why?
You're always so much prettier in person than from a distance.
I almost recoiled at his words and felt as though I must have scowled at him.
I swear, I mean you no harm. I'd never hurt you. And the others won't hurt you either.
Then what do you actually want from me? To play some stupid sick game for your guys' entertainment?
No, it's not like that. I swear. I've upset you. I'm sorry. I've asked my brethren not to hurt you. Because I found myself falling for you.
Oh my gosh.
Let me guess. You stalked me. Alright, what makes you think I want any of this?
I guess I thought it was a possibility. I wanted to give you an option. A choice. I wanted to offer you a family. My family.
But I have to pass these tests or trials or whatever they are in order to become part of it? Was killing Maya Potts one of them? Because I failed that.
No. She was just a chance to get justice. You let her go?
Hell no. She should still be tied up if her roots are showing. So I still would say I got my justice. People stand around and never help me. Why should I help her?
Ooh, she's lying.
You do have a time limit. We agreed that you'd have until sunrise, but I'm sure you'll have no trouble with that. I have faith in you.
Right, then. I'll go off before the murder clock stops ticking.
That's it? I exited the room and pressed myself against a nearby wall to catch my breath. Sure, I hadn't been physically exerting myself, but my mental stimulation was being pulled asunder.
This is bullshit. Everything about this is bullshit. It's all just bullshit.
Was playing along in this little game a wise idea, or should I forsake everything and try my hand at escaping? I wasn't sure, but there only really seemed to be one way to go right now. They were kind enough to mark on my map which rooms were death traps, and which were more or less locked or inaccessible, so at least that was a good enough starting point for me.
To Easton's room, I guess.
I subtly shot up from where I was perched and made my way to my next destination according to the map. I finally was in front of the door that was allegedly where I should go and found it to be locked too. I assumed the key on me was a skeleton key and put the theory to the test and stuck it into the knob. It worked. I entered and see an artistic looking collage on the wall directly in front of me. It was made up of various materials and labeled as family portrait. To the side of the mural were 3 Polaroids with the message, "Complete the image" next to it. On a nearby table there was a journal propped up and open as though begging to be read and looked through. I assumed with basic logic that this must have been whatever challenge or trial this Easton person came up with for me. And whilst I can enjoy puzzles, I almost enjoyed the thought of getting the hell out of there. I also enjoyed the thought of getting the hell out of there. Would it be a waste of time to sit here and solve this when I could be looking for a way out instead? Ooh, I want to read the journal, actually. I made my way to the journal in front of me. The pages were seemingly old as they were crinkled and spilled upon with what looked like juice. It was more like the diary of a little girl than a man's journal. It was a spiral notebook that had cute rainbow and unicorns on the cover. It even had a cheap lock on the outside that was worn out from age. I stroked the pages and began to read.
Katie left this diary behind on her desk today. She was complaining how she didn't want it because she was too cool for a diary. I took it when no one was looking. I wanted one, so as long as my papa doesn't find it, it shouldn't matter that I keep a diary. I saw that black woman with Papa again. Mama was upset. Davis played with me while Mama and Papa fought. We snuck out since Mama doesn't like him. She said that he should be collared and leashed like the rest of his ancestors. Davis and I found a dead jackrabbit in the forest today when we went out to play. We took a stick and poked at it for a little bit. It looked like its belly had been sliced open. We agreed not to tell anyone about it, but we're gonna see it again next time. My papa said Davis is my brother, then my mama said I can't see Davis again. Fuck her. I was just given a brother and now she's trying to take him from me? I told Davis I liked boys. He told me he doesn't think that's wrong, but I can't tell anyone. I asked my parents how they felt about homos. My mama said they were disgusting. My papa said they should be taken out and shot down.
Damn.
Davis was right. I can't tell anyone.
That's freaking terrible.
My date didn't go as expected. He was pretty, but he wasn't enough. He tried to play hard to get. I stabbed him.
Whoa.
The look of fear on his face was amusing. Attractive, even. I stabbed him a few more times. I called up Davis when I realized what I had done. Davis told me he knew that the jackrabbit was going to be there that day we found it as kids. This was our new jackrabbit.
Wow. I stepped back and began thinking on the journal entries I just read. Well, I just read the journal. Let me look at the collage. I looked over at the mural in close detail. On the left was a collage of Polaroids that made up two separate people. One appeared to be male-based, and the other on the tie, and the other was female-based on the breasts and lipstick. Neither of them looked happy. On the right, which was the main focus of this family portrait, were the outline of two men. One man was constructed of leaves varying of colors from brown, orange, and red for his body, and red for his body, while his hair was completely made of black yarn. The other man's body was mainly made up of green flowers. His hair was spray painted onto the wall and was also different shades of green. At the end of his arm was a squared out spot labeled "Complete Me," as though a photo belonged there, indicating that something belonged in his hand. Upon examination of the Polaroids that were left out, I could see the images in the photos. The first was of a hand holding another person's. The second was of a hand holding a leashed collar. The third was a hand holding a gun.
So I can either make them friendly, master and slave, or threatened, I suppose?
I don't know, dude. Holding hands. I'm gonna put the leash and collar. I grabbed the Polaroid of the leash and collar and placed it at the end of Flower Boy's arm.
His mother did say something about being collared and leashed. An unhappy situation. Feeling tied down and locked to them. It's all a bit unsettling, but it makes enough sense. Guess I'll find out if this is right.
Yeah.
So that's it then. Guess I can leave.
I moved away from the mural and eventually made my way out of the room. I opened up my map to see where to go next. I was supposed to go to Davis's trial next, and I wondered if it's the same person Easton mentioned in the journal. I began to make my way down the dusty hallway and past some boxes and crates when I took notice of heavy breathing coming from behind one of the obstacles. I slowed my movements and tried to quietly draw near as I listened. The breathing didn't seem to be that of some creep watching me, if anything. If anything, it sounded like someone who's exasperated and frightened.
Hello?
Oh boy, is it Aiden? Oh my gosh, it's Aiden! Yes! I gently knelt and looked around to see who was hiding. Though based upon the signs, it was most likely a male, meaning that it was Aiden.
Foster?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, you're still alive. Thank goodness it's someone useful with common sense rather than one of the preps.
Oh, it's so loud though, what the heck?
Really now?
Have you seen anyone else? Molly, maybe? Or am I the first person they've run into?
I started in the same place as Maya, but she ran off without me to find Jane. I haven't seen Molly.
Oh, I'm glad to see you alive, Shay. We have a better chance of getting out together. You said you started with Maya?
Yeah, we woke up in the same room. Were you on your own?
I was woken up by some maniac with no shirt. He kept saying creepy things to me. I almost felt like he was trying to come on to me. He said he wanted me to give him something to chase and then began counting.
So
Oh
then
my
he might still be
gosh.
hunting you right now?
Yeah, but he just came from the same direction I did, so he must have gone the other way.
We still should keep quiet. What if he eventually turns around when he realizes?
Right.
We should continue on and try finding a way out. Hiding and waiting is a pointless game. This is their domain, their hunting ground, and the police aren't coming to get us.
I guess you're right. See, you're so level-headed, unlike any of the other girls.
Then let's stop shooting the shit. Let's go.
I got up to lead the way as Aiden scurried to his feet and began following me. Eventually, Aiden stopped us in front of a door and began to try opening it.
What are you doing?
I smell fresh dirt from behind this door. I think it might be a way out through here.
Or it's a dead end. Let's just keep moving forward.
That hasn't gotten us anywhere.
As Aiden spoke and opened the door, he kept his gaze on me while I stepped into the room. He suddenly gave out a shriek and I looked down at his ankle to see that he stepped in a bear trap.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah!
Oh my god. I know it's me, but like, damn, dude. Why you gotta act this way?
You need to be quiet.
You put your foot in the bear trap, and then say that!
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I know I did multiple takes of the lines, but like, I don't know. I trust CSR's judgment, and if they say this is the best one, then, you know, who am I to criticize? I clapped my hand over his face as I looked around. He was just going to slow me down and cause problems like he always did. Aiden Langston might have been your typical gawky little nerd, but he was desperate to break for his position and was willing to take others down with him. However, he's still that boy you would either pay or threaten to do your homework. He said he liked photography, but from what I heard, he used his camera for either perverse means or to blackmail others. At a certain point in time, he pretty much became the bitch boy of Molly Dietz. He had a huge crush on her, and she saw him as someone she could use. To be honest, I think he might have some dirt on her too. Though I think he mainly believes he'll get her affections if he keeps doing as she says. He used to be my friend back in middle school, before I saw he was two-faced. Ooh. In fact, back then he had a face. When high school came around, the corner and cliques were beginning to be defined for us. He avoided me like the plague. Oh, crap. He only interacted with me if I was trying to get something from me. If he was trying to get something from me, or I was being made a spectacle by the preps and he was being used to help. He's gone past the point of being a bystander. Okay, yeah. Okay, obviously I recorded the parts in the script where I'm murdered or left to my own devices. I don't really know what happens if I get free. So, I'm gonna see... Also, it's the humane option, but I want to see what happens when I do this. I gave Aiden a stern look and slightly gripped around his mouth a little tighter.
I'm going to try getting this off you, but you're going to need to be quiet if you don't want to attract any attention, okay?
Aiden stared wide-eyed back at me and nodded his head as though he understood.
If you have something to stuff into your mouth, you might want to do it now.
Fortunately, I had enough basic knowledge on how hunting tools work because of one of the foster homes I'd been brought into. I fiddled around with it and eventually got it open and freed Aiden. I grabbed the hanky from his pocket and tied it around his ankle. I grabbed a hold of his hands and helped. Aiden stand up, propping his arm over my shoulder. Good thing I was just barely taller than him. Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Thank you, Shay.
What was I supposed to do? Leave you behind?
You could have. I'm just going to slow you down. You could have ditched me and saved yourself. So thanks for not being a dick. I mean, a bitch.
His face. I can see it again. Thanks for never telling anyone about middle school.
What happened in middle school?
But...
Wait.
Thanks for never telling anyone about middle school.
But...
Never mind. Forget it. Let's get going.
There you are.
Oh no. I pushed Aiden behind me in attempts to hide his presence. Standing in the direction we came from was a young man with shaggy hair and an exposed chest. I began to subtly whisper to the injured boy as I kept eye contact with the new contender. You're not making it very obvious that he's not there, so...
Aiden, you're going to need to get out of here as quickly as you possibly can.
Oh, there's where the butt's supposed to go.
Don't argue, just do it. I'll lead him astray. Unlike you, I can outrun him.
Aiden patted my back and then slowly retreated into a silent scamper. The hallway wasn't well lit, so I was hoping that Aiden could use the darkness as his cover.
Nice to meet you again, sis. How was my trial? I thought putting it together was rather fun.
You're Easton? Your mural was pretty.
Yeah, so you did do it. Nice. You must be on your way to Davis's then, huh? By the way, the boy we picked up, I'm glad he made it. Just my type. I've never been much for jobs.
Oh, just shut up. I think that bitch helped him escape.
Okay, Chuckles. Oh. Behind Easton stepped up an older boy or younger man with light ginger hair and overalls. He had the pissiest look on his face I had ever seen. Resting pissy face. Oh, he's a piss boy.
Just so you know, you're only alive because my big bro has a hard-on for you.
Wait, which one's the big bro? Who's having a hard-on?
Oh, come on, Chuckles. Don't say it like that. It sounds so
Oh,
cruel.
Clyde.
I'm
Okay.
Clyde-like.
Oh, wow.
How the hell else would I say it?
Dude, I don't know.
How about you just call it a crush? Yeah, that sounds like a Clyde thing.
Well, he's not fucking here. Listen here, Wednesday Addams.
Ooh, Wednesday Addams.
Was that supposed to be an insult?
I could kill you and say that you started it. I know Clyde gave you his knife. Self-defense or whatever.
Ooh, this character reminds me of someone. I can't place exactly who.
Chucky?
Chucky. Not Chucky, no. Oh, Ben 10! He does remind me of Ben 10. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Ugh, I'm not going to. I wouldn't lie to Clyde.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask me, I think this trial thing is a bunch of bullshit. If you really want to prove yourself, I think you should kill every last one of those brats. In fact, if you do kill all of them, I'll count that as valid for passing my trial. Trust me, you might need the handicap. I didn't go easy on you, no matter how badly Clyde thinks he wants you.
Why am I able to see and hear them so clearly? Is it because they have an attachment to them through fear and the balance of life and death? By the way, Clyde said no death traps.
I didn't do a death trap. Hey, wait! Clyde better not be helping you.
He's not. I haven't seen him since I woke up.
Know this. If you try anything, I will know. I'll be watching on surveillance cameras. I have them hooked up so I can see them from my phone.
Wow, a techie redneck.
Techie redneck.
Don't mind Chuckles. He's just jealous that you are taking away his big brother.
You are taking away his big brother.
Shut up! That's not true!
Are y'all really a family? I know in your journal you said Davis was your brother, and y'all keep implying that Clyde and Chuck are brothers, but that could just be a figure of speech or adopted title.
Yeah, we're family. We share a common cousin between the duo of brothers, but Clyde's become like a real big bro to all of us.
Keep your trap shut, Easton. What if you ruin someone's trial?
Actually, I was there for all the mock trials. I know this isn't relevant information for anyone else's.
There are mock trials. Wait, so
Actually,
no dialogue. Well, I hope we'll see you again soon, sis. Clyde was really elated to have you come here tonight. He's been super anxious. So part of me is hoping you won't disappoint. I've got a cute boy to find.
Likewise. But you know, one of the girls. At least before Elijah gets his hands on the last of them.
Oof.
But I will be watching you, raccoon eyes.
Well, that sounds more like an insult than Wednesday Addams. Raccoons are cute, though, so my feelings aren't hurt.
The two men disappeared down the hallway, past me in the direction I was meant to go.
Just breathe, Shay. You're not immune, but you have a chance. So to Davis's room. Time to see what the bird is prepared for.
Davis be the bird, though. I followed the map's directions and came across a door that was labeled as Davis's. I unlocked it with the key and entered. The room was set up more like a library, and once again had journal entries for me to read. Though this time they looked much more medical and like an academic journal in the making. Easton Lyon, proud artist. Easton Lyon, proud artist. Davis the Bird, reserved scholar. Part of me wondered if I looked up their zodiac signs if I'd seen the first to be a Leo and the second to be some sort of air sign like Libra. Of course, I don't actually take stock in astrology, it's more for fun. I glanced over at the shelf that brought great attention to itself, as it adorned only two books, both perched up by stands. Between the books was a plaque etched with "Pick One."
And that, I can only assume, was his trial.
I sighed and reminded myself I didn't have to do this. Time wasted on these trials was time wasted on trying to find a way out. If I left now, I might be able to find the others, and our odds of escape would go up. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it the long way, why not? I went to the collected files of paper and began to scan through them. They were mainly typed up, but there was a few that were handwritten.
When people see me, they only see my mama's ancestry. People dragged from their homes, shipped across the seas, enslaved, and then sold off to witness and experience such atrocities. They overlooked some of the ancestry of my daddy's line, people whose homes were invaded along with their way of life, murdered, raped, and stripped of everything that made them who they were. That's how America was built.
Wow.
My granddaddy managed to pass for a white man and was able to give his children the lives that comes along with white privilege. My daddy was unable to pass this trait to me, alongside his family name. You generally want to keep your bastard children a secret. My daddy and his real wife had a son of their own after my birth. He became my best friend.
Wait.
The only person I could share my secrets with.
That's Easton, isn't it?
The one who knew of my possession. One day in my boyhood,
Yeah.
I came across a jackrabbit in the forest. It came so willingly to me, as though it was a gift from nature.
So you killed it?
I took it.
Oh my
Sliced open
gosh.
its belly with my homemade blade. What a shameful act. I hadn't even used its meat to birth. I didn't want to eat it. I left it there to rot, and we gawked at. The inability to eat human food. My curse had begun.
Really, bro?
Somehow, as the years passed, I knew of my craving for the meat of humans.
Oh, hello.
I was uninterested in rabbit,
So you just randomly killed a jackrabbit.
or any other animal the wild had to offer. It was the matter of my own kind that was a forbidden one I desired so much.
Yeah, that's not good.
I had been given a job at a morgue,
Oh,
and that is when I was able to get my first taste of human flesh. I was discreet about it.
it's
I knew I
disgusting.
wouldn't let anybody know. It was an innocent start, I told myself. I wasn't harming anybody, but the taste of old dead flesh didn't seem to satisfy my craving once I had the taste of something fresh. I hadn't killed this person either, but they were only recently dead. In time, my brother and I were able to feed the spirit that possessed me. The changes have begun. I am shifting. I know that I shall not remain me for much longer. All I hope is that those I care about are safe and the curse is home.
Wow, that's crazy. I felt my stomach churned and was thankful I hadn't recently eaten. I stepped away from my grotesque greed and thought upon it. Let's solve this thing. The two books on the shelf are Native American folklore. The first one's titled Skinwalker, Legends of Stikini, Kanaima, and Rougarou. The second was titled Walking the Tay Trail of the Wendigo, Witigo, Muwe, and Chenu. I'm sorry if I mispronounced these. Let me get Wendigos.
The cannibalistic monsters of native folklore. Sorry to disappoint, but this only really occurs in northern, or at least icy, cold areas, hence why they are almost always ice giants. They were being punished for trying not to starve to death during a harsh winter. You're being punished for being a homicidal maniac. I suppose keeping what's left of your humanity is a punishment, though. You'll have to live with the guilt of who you are for the rest of your life. At least Wendigos are no longer themselves at the point that they become what they are.
I exited the room and was suddenly crashed into.
Was she Foster?
The cheerleader looked completely panicked but almost relieved at the same time. She suddenly— oh wow, I'm getting a call. I'm sorry.
We gotta go. Someone's chasing me.
Now, don't you worry, little piglet. I only want to have some fun.
There has to be some way out. Something, right?
We can't stay in here. They'll break through the barricade eventually. There's one thing I could try. We could push past him and give him the runaround. Though that would risk endangering myself in the blind panic. And am I really willing to put myself out there for the sake of someone like her? I have an idea, Molly. I'm gonna open the door in his face, and I want you to try running past him while he's distracted.
Shay,
Yeah?
have you seen Aiden?
Aiden?
Yeah, well, I mean, or anyone. Jane, perhaps?
I saw Aiden. Maya, too.
Was he?
He was alive last I saw.
Oh, thank God. You know, when we get out of here, I think I have to take him on that date I owe him.
She's scared and thinks she's gonna die. She's going over regrets and hopes.
This is going to sound really stupid given just about everything, but gosh, I'm really, really sorry. Really, thank you for being here. I've been really terrible to you. Aiden, too. I used to be like you know? I was a bit budgy back in junior high and was just too shy to stand up for myself. I wouldn't change positions with you if given the chance. I was scared I would end up like that again. I had worked hard to get in shape and join the cheer squad. I didn't want to lose that.
Look, I'm under no illusions that you're only being this way because of the circumstances. If and when we get out of here, I know things won't change and y'all will just treat me the same. Had this never happened, I'd still just be the moody goth bitch.
I'm sorry.
Enough of that. We gotta get out of here. You game for my plan?
But I don't want to leave you behind. I just don't want to be alone.
Don't worry about that. I've made it this far, right?
I'm really scared.
We've got this. I promise.
Whoa there! You're Clyde's girl. Crap! She's getting away! Chuckles might get to her first. At least there's still that cute blondie, though. Did you mean to help her?
Thought my eyes deceived me, or did Elijah let the girl slip away?
Oh, shut it, Davis. Not everyone's a natural-born hunter like you. If anything, though, it wasn't my fault. She got in the way.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
It's Shay, right? My trial's next on your list. Assuming you've been doing them.
Yeah, I just did his.
You know something, Shay? Take off the goth makeup and wear something, normal. You just might be kinda cute. Though I prefer my girls not just to be barely shorter than me.
My makeup is attractive enough, and I look just fine with it, thank you.
I like her.
Besides, you're not really my type either.
Oh, no. Your type is fat dykes with crazy hair, ain't it? You'll grow out of your lesbian phase. Sooner or later.
Wait, who said she was a lesbian?
They know about Holly?
Wait. Maybe. I don't know. I almost felt myself go for the knife in my boot.
Don't be a dick, Elijah.
Whatever. I'm gonna try catching up with that bitch. Or at least find the other one before Chuckles does.
Elijah made his way down the hall, and I was hit with the feeling that I've only been putting off the inevitable over and over again. Davis did stay and shot me a sincere smile.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to you. I think Clyde's been following you around, though. I've been seeing his boot marks not too far off.
Of course Clyde'd be like a weirdo or something.
Maybe you should say hi. Or maybe you shouldn't force him out of his shell. Let him come to you when he's ready, sort of thing.
That's Rich. He kidnapped me, yet I should wait for him to come to me?
Yeah, that's kinda whack.
Clyde's like a big brother to us all, so if you can help it, please avoid hurting him.
Bro, what?
Got it. So don't say it's his fashion sense, just that I'm not into serial killers.
I like the wit. But seriously.
Davis walked past me, and I was left presumably alone in the hallway. I scanned the area and felt the presence of eyes on me in one particular corner.
Clyde?
Clyde hesitantly slid from around the corner to meet with me.
You're still wearing that bandana over your face?
I'm afraid you wouldn't accept me if you saw my face.
This isn't Phantom of the Opera, and I'm not Christine Daae. You kidnapped me and murdered people. Your face isn't what's going to change my opinion.
Clyde at first flashed me a bit of a surprised look, and then began to inch toward me, hand on his bandana. The closer he got, the more I was able to notice that he was wearing eyeshadow. He pulled down the cloth and revealed a very handsome face almost completely covered with makeup.
Oh no, he's attractive. I have a thing for pretty and feminine boys.
Oh no.
I just really like wearing makeup. It's not that I want to be a woman or wear a full female wardrobe. I just like to wear makeup.
That's fair.
Hey, me too.
He gave me a wholesome and embarrassed smile that said how much my lighthearted comment actually meant to him.
By the way, I love the shade of your lipstick. I almost wore purple tonight myself, but decided on the red instead.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites of the lip wears that I own. I'm really glad to see you're not put off.
Hey, had you planned a better first date, I might have asked you out on a second.
That's reasonable.
Really? Please, don't tease me.
I'm just really not fond of the idea of never having a choice in the first place, and now being punished for not doing things correctly through death. You'd think if you really had that big of a crush on me, you would have at least thought things through that didn't result in me dying over failing a few puzzles, instead of it being about my feelings toward you. What if I liked you back, but I failed one trial? Like, you could have just tried talking to me on the street after accidentally bumping into me, see if we would get along, tell me you're a serial killer, and then maybe kidnap me and put me to the test or whatever.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it all.
I'm sorry. You're right. Maybe I thought this would be the most honest and candid way for you to see me.
Honest and candid?
Though my family does come first, I suppose I could have figured something out that wouldn't have endangered your life so easily. I just felt like there was a connection, an understanding, that you'd feel like you belonged.
Why would I feel like I belong with a bunch of homicidal maniacs?
No, I get it. It's so easy to see us that way from the outside, but that's not all there is to us. Davis is a nurse. He helps people, gives to charity, is aspiring in medical academics. East?
And is a killer. He helps people, but he also kills, and apparently eats them.
Yeah, what is up with that? What is going on?
I suppose I got off track. I don't mean to excuse the things we do, or the things we've done.
Then what's the point of all this?
We all came from homes and backgrounds we rather wish we hadn't. We all were told in some way that we weren't enough, or that we're just another freak, even before we did any harm. We're all outcasts, Shay. Most of us are very empathetic outcasts. None of us wanted to be the way we are, but we were rejected by the world for the things we couldn't help. Sexuality, ethnicity, physical design, and limitation.
I give you my sympathy for that, I really do, but I'm not a killer. I don't belong with your family.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
And you don't have to be. You don't even have to love me. We don't pick out families, and almost no two are ever alike. You can be the angel of the household, the good we can't be. Though, I suppose that could be a lot of pressure to push onto someone.
Then you'd just be an accessory to their crimes, and then you'd be no better than they are.
I truly do wish for you to be our sister. That you'll be one of us.
What if I don't want to be your sister? It's a little weird to think you'd consider me a sister when you've also indicated that you like me otherwise. Like I can see me being their sister-in-law because I'm with you or whatever.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make things weird.
You made things weird when you kidnapped me.
Aha, you've got him there.
You're so blunt and sassy about things. I find that very cute. Oh, I'm making things weird again, aren't I?
I think saying again implies things ever stopped being weird.
I felt myself start to chitter, and soon heard Clyde lightly laugh in response to my amusement.
Oh, right. I'm on a time limit.
You're doing fine on time. Besides, I'm sure they'd be lenient with you if I told them it was my fault for stalling you. I'm enjoying conversing with you.
I kind of like talking to you, too. We're both oddballs, huh?
Oh boy, is this Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know.
I was about to make an ugly duckling reference, but then that'd only confirm your claim of me finding a flock of swans.
But you're not ugly.
No, and neither was the duck. In fact, it wasn't a duck, hence why it was seen as ugly for a duck. Have you ever heard this story before? It's kind of a kid classic.
Charles and I were only read Bible stories as children.
Yikes. First Testament or second? Or both?
First.
Double yikes.
Our father was a very devout man. He even gave me the middle name Abel after the biblical story. Our mother determined my brother's name since my father was not present during the labor.
Speaking of Chuck, I don't think he likes me much.
He's just insecure. I've been the one thing that he's been able to depend on his entire life. He's scared of losing that. I should be letting you go, though. I really shouldn't keep you any longer than I have.
No, you shouldn't. Clyde almost began to turn away from me, but I reached out to him before he scattered.
Hey.
I gave a slight tug at his sleeve and planted a gentle peck on Clyde's cheek.
Thanks for being honest, at the very least.
Clyde's face was almost entirely red, and I could see him trying his best to stay composed.
Would you like me to walk you to the next trial? Elisha's, right?
If that's fine with everyone else, I don't think that'd be counted as cheating, as long as you don't actually help me with the trial, right?
I moved away and began walking in the direction I was meant to, and Clyde followed closely behind.
Tonight was supposed to be your prom night, right? Maybe I can give you a dance as an apology for ruining it. Though I'm not much of a dancer, and I'd really only embarrass myself. I'd do it if it made you happy. I never went to my own prom.
What would make me really happy is to leave. I didn't really feel like giving him an answer at the moment, and at the moment I really didn't feel like dancing either. We continued on in mostly silence until we reached the destination. As before, I unlocked it with the key and entered.
I'll go in alone.
Alright, that makes sense. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Alright. Upon coming into the room, I was greeted by the smell of cigarettes and booze. I looked around for the journal and trial. There was a table that seemed to contain both the journal and a weird setup of cards.
Guess this must be his trial.
Alright, let's look at the journal. I stepped up to his scrawling collection and sifted through the half-hearted piece of work in front of me.
May 27th, 2007. I was curious to see how desperate this little hobo girl was for money. I took her to a private area and she showed off what goods she had. Then she started crying and bitching, and at one point she begged me to go. So I beat her around a little bit, just until she learned to shut her mouth. November 2nd, 2007. Some guy at my factory keeps showing up to work drunk. He's been really pissing me off lately, trying to start fights and whatnot. So I took him out back today and we had it out. Let's just say he won't be returning to work anytime soon.
Okay.
January 13th, 2008. I found myself chasing tail of some sweet girlie, making her way from work or something. She kept her pace, though, and tried to outsmart me. It was the first time I just grabbed a woman off the street and threw her aside like that. Her face of fear was delightful.
Oh yeah, so delightful.
April 5th, 2008. I came across a lovely dame tonight. She was passing by my frequent bar. We went back to her motel room and fooled around a little bit.
Wow.
Eventually, I found my hands around her neck. And the nice thing was, it was mess-free. She was gorgeous after that.
Oh no.
May 29th, 2008. I was sitting around in the park when a wealthy lady adorned with jewels quick in haste at my side. I probably would have paid her no mind if she hadn't drawn attention to herself. Practically asked for it. I ended up taking some of her jewels when I was done. I'll probably pawn them tomorrow. August 6, 2008. A bum got in the way today. He kept begging me for money and I told him to fuck off. He made me angry. So, I got rid of him. Some people just don't get that no means no.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
February 15th, 2009.
These dates keep jumping
Clyde
around.
asked me to look after his
Oh,
little
wait, it's
brother,
2009.
so I took Charles to the bar with me, and we got caught up with a hottie. I almost didn't need to tell him what to do. The squirt had practically gotten things for himself. We went back to his place to try and dump the body, though. Then Clyde caught us, but we didn't have to try to save face. He ended up helping.
What is it with these people? I felt chills down my spine, but I toughed through the entries all the same. Backing away was a much desired action. Unfortunately, I still had to think upon my readings. Alright, let's look at the cards. There were 8 cards placed across the table. The order they were in almost made no sense to me. 5 of spades, jack of... okay, whatever. 3 cards had been pushed higher than the rest and were labeled with, remove the one that does not belong. I stepped back and began thinking on the order. Let's do this.
Alright, here goes nothing.
Oof. This might actually be the hardest one that I've encountered thus far. Alright, I'm gonna use my deduction... no, wait. That doesn't work. See, I would say the one that doesn't belong is the diamonds one, but that's not an option. So is it the 4 of hearts, the 8 of spades, or the 9 of clubs? I'm trying to figure out what's the pattern. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out what the pattern is. What might they want from me? Huh. I think I'm just gonna... shot in the dark, but I'm just gonna go with 9 of clubs. I picked up the 9 of clubs from the place it was set.
He talked about months. I think the numbers were meant to correlate, so if that's the case, there's no need for a 9 of anything, since he never mentioned September. I'm also pretty sure that the suits relate to the victims, but that's less of a sure thing to go off of.
Okay, but then what would happen if I picked one of the other ones? Because then, or all of those months. Oh, wait, ooh, man, I don't know. I exited the room and didn't find Clyde waiting for me like I assumed I would. I suddenly began to feel nervous, hearing the pitter-patter of feet and rattling of the nearby structures causing me to instinctively reach for the knife in my boot. Oh boy. I peered into the nearby area to see what was making the ruckus, only to see that Jane was still alive and was desperately searching for a way out.
Shay.
I felt myself nearly jump out of my skin as I suddenly turned my head to find Clyde standing behind us. His hand had found its way toward mine, but respectfully hovered away to keep itself from crossing any boundaries I might have.
Shh, 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 shh. We don't want it to hear us.
Clyde placed a finger over his mouth, indicating for me to stay silent and watch.
They hurt you. So I'll kill him for you.
What? Whoa. He was smiling so sweetly over a statement so demented. He had such a tender look in his eyes, I wasn't sure how to feel about anything anymore. He began to slip past me, still having a finger pressed to his lips until he turned from me and unsheathed the hunting knife from his belt.
No, wait.
Oh, okay. No, we're gonna cause distraction. I scanned my surroundings and decided to make it seem I tripped over my clumsy feet onto some nearby junk in the hallway.
Ah!
Clyde instantly looked back at me in both surprise and what appeared to be concern, and I quickly looked up to see Jane jump into a state of alert and panic, making her way as far from us as possible.
Thank goodness.
Clyde didn't seem to decide where his focus should be aimed at first, the girl that just got away or the girl on the floor. He shook his head and came to my side.
Shay, are you alright?
Yeah, sorry. I guess I just slipped a bit and fell on my ankle wrong, though.
It's easy to do that on the floor in here, especially if you don't have the right shoes.
He clearly was still distracted by his lost prey and was still uncertain where his attention should be aimed.
You said you landed on your ankle. I'll carry you.
What?
I'm not letting you fail tonight. And I'm gonna get that pathetic waste of space.
Clyde began to stand up and scooped an arm around my gut from behind, just barely picking me up from off the ground. As a 5'8" girl, or even just person, often people don't tower over me, let alone appear a foot taller. I'm certain Clyde has to be about a foot or half foot higher, putting him somewhere around 6'5" or 6'8". He was also well built, so picking me up seemed so effortless to him. The way he picked me up was peculiar and not at all logical, but I suppose it was convenient for him so that he could still hold his knife in the other hand. But he ended up marching on despite the awkward pose I was in.
Clyde, you don't need to carry me.
It'll be faster this way. It'll be easier to make progress.
This isn't how you should carry people.
Are you uncomfortable?
This entire situation is uncomfortable. Please put me down and let's get back on task.
It's just a small detour.
Stop chasing Jade.
Why?
Because I don't want you to. I want to just get things done with. Put me down and let me go to the final trial.
Are you angry with me?
I just want everything to be over. I'm tired. And I'm tired of everything hurting. Of everyone hurting. I want it to be over.
Clyde gently put me down and then placed his hands around my cheeks in a comforting way. What?
Sometimes I think it'd be easier to not be alive anymore.
Oh boy.
I've only lived this long out of spite.
You should live because you have a reason for yourself, an aspiration, a passion.
I wanted to either be a prison psychologist, a nurse in a mental health facility, or a therapist for LGBT youth. I know those sound like very different things, but they all sounded like things I'd want to do. A way to give back.
No, they're not all different. They're kind of similar.
You really are a selfless person.
I don't think it's selfless if it's to make me feel better.
I'll take you to Charles's trial. Let's get tonight over with.
Clyde led me to a room that I unlocked and entered. He decided to wait outside again, and I almost mournfully continued my task alone. The room bore the resemblance of a troubled mind who had an incredibly hard time cheering up after themselves, but not from lack of intelligence. In fact, it felt as though there was an organization in the mess that the owner knew by heart. There was a lit-up computer monitor on a desk that I found myself going toward. Ooh. The glow lighting up the dark room. I noticed something else on the desk covered slightly by a bandana. I moved the cloth and found an anime girl mousepad. The kind with 3D breasts on it to make your wrist feel more comfortable.
Fucking weeb.
Oh boy. Chucky's a weeb. I ignored the small nuance and looked at the monitor. It had a hacker-esque skull on the screen. Next to the computer was a small box that looked like a mock bomb that was attached by wires. Of course, there was also a nearby journal.
Yes, the techie redneck.
Let's do this. The journal had a sketch of a jackal on the cover, in the first page of it, and on the bottom corners of all the pages with writing in it. There were sticky notes on 2 separate pages indicating what I needed to read.
Clyde and I have been getting into these ciphers a lot recently. Keeps our father from knowing what we're talking about. Stupid drunk fuck, too stupid for that bullshit. Venezuela cipher has to be my favorite. It's a bit tricksy and takes a lot of time. I like that about it.
Page had a chart of what a Vigenère cipher coder looks like. Scribbled at the top of the page was the word jackal over and over again. Some fourth wall break. To you, the player, you can find... Wait, some fourth wall break. To you, the player, you can find the Vigenère chart in the game files. You are also able to find versions with hints if you don't want to put too much work into figuring out what the coded message is. Your choice, I won't judge.
Stupid bitch. Let's see if you can figure this out. I hope you fail. Fuck you.
Curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to look through some of the pages in the journal despite not needing to.
Father slapped me in the face and sent me to the floor. Said things like I was a scampy little wimp who cries too much. He slapped me in the fucking face. Of course I'd be fucking crying. Clyde says I need to stop drinking Father's alcohol behind his back. He says that not only will Father be furious if I get caught, but it'll just make me act as bad as him. Clyde thinks alcohol is poison. Wait till he hears about the other poisons I put in me.
Oh.
Father smashed a bottle over my head. The glass got into my scalp and in my face. Clyde helped pick them out. You'd think for someone so big, he wouldn't be so careful and precise with his hands. So sturdy. He's gonna make a great mechanic. I found makeup in Clyde's room. When he came in, I hid away and watched. He began to put the makeup on. He looked like he was good at it. I came out of hiding and he nearly jumped out of his skin. I won't tell. Clyde took a beating for me today. He didn't have to. Fuck! He's such a big guy, you'd never expect anyone to successfully hit him. But what matters is that he did it.
He's got a good-looking face, and now it's black and blue. His face is nicer than my girly and freckled one. Father hates my face. Father hates me.
I saw Clyde with another boy from church by the river on Sunday. They were snuggled up to each other like a married couple. He kissed the boy. I just told Clyde what I saw, but I told him I wouldn't tell anyone else. So what if my bro's a faggot? He's still my big bro, and the manliest guy I know.
That's true.
I'm short, scrawny, my face is pretty, and my personality weak. Even my hair has a pinkish tint to it in some lighting. No wonder my father kicks my ass so often to shape me up.
Clyde's the perfect son. He says so. Clyde is big and strong, handsome, and he knows manly things. I like mechanics too, but Father just sees me as wasting time on my techie bullshit. Clyde caught me shooting up with the purple dragon. He lectured me, but said he wouldn't tell Father. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like if I injected enough to never wake up again.
I nearly died today. Father fucking lost it and was beating the shit out of me. I was paralyzed out of fear, but he suddenly fell over motionless. I looked up to see Clyde mournfully looking down at me. I helped him dispose of the body. I have Clyde to thank for everything in my life. He's given so much to me, given up so much for me. All the times I've OT'd and all the times as a little bitch, and he's done nothing but held my head up and took hold of my hand. I don't deserve him.
I feel kind of shitty for being so invasive.
Nah, it's okay. The freaking journals are there. I stepped away from the journal. Vigenère cipher at the ready. I needed to piece things together. Oh boy. I had a look at the screen and noticed a strange sequence of letters that made out love, DHP, that, and that.
Must have something to do with the cipher.
The colors of the wires were green, blue, purple, pink, and red. Written on tape over the wire box said snip snip. There were also sharp pliers in the desk.
I'm supposed to cut a wire?
Oh no. Oh no. I don't know about cipher. There has to be some logic to it. Wait. No, I'm not getting anything. Oh no. Alright. Just gonna cut the red wire. cut the wire and immediately heard an obnoxious robotic laugh coming from the screen. The image was suddenly laughing at me, and underneath it were the words failure.
Oh, damn. Did all the trials have an instant letting me know I fucked up, or just good old Chuckles? Something tells me this is just a Chucky thing, wanting to rub salt in the wound. He seems like a little shit. Also, what the hell is with this ridiculous cipher bullshit? Well, shit. Guess I should get out before this voice drives me fucking insane.
Oh boy. I exited the room, and Lord and behold, Clyde was waiting out in the hallway for me. But he wasn't alone. No, Jane Rotten was in his clutches, crying her eyes out.
Foster?
What is this?
I know I've never had a trial for you, but think of this as one. I'm curious to see what you choose.
What do you mean?
You must have realized at some point that key I gave you is a skeleton key, right? Meaning, that key can open any door in here. Even the door to get out.
The thought that I had a skeleton did spring across my thoughts, but I hadn't put much stock in it. The fact that I could actually get me outside actually hadn't occurred to me, but felt so painfully obvious now.
I could kill this thing for you right now. Or even allow you to do it. You seem to have a lot of sympathy and compassion. So it might be more of a mercy killing if you killed it instead of me. Because I won't hesitate. Or be gentle. Or you could give her the key. The two of you could leave together. Or you could just leave, with or without her. If you do try to leave with her, though, I can't guarantee that my family won't try to stop you.
And you're not going to try to stop me if I try to leave?
Only one way to find out.
The last contestant, Jane Rotten, homecoming and prom queen for sure, leader of the cheer squad, and your perfect example of a Heather or Mean Girl. Now I guess I can understand everyone else having a reason for targeting me. Molly wanted status, Maya was jealous, Aiden had it in his head this would impress Molly, and even Josiah felt he had to please his girlfriend. But what the fuck did I ever do to Jane other than exist? I try to recall, but nothing comes to mind. I can't even say it had anything to do with Josiah Tucker making a move on me, since that happened after she had it out for me. It was just a food chain and pecking order. I was nothing but a freak to beat upon. It honestly felt like she wanted me dead, like my suicide was the end goal for all the torment she was inflicting upon me, or one day she was going to push me in front of a moving car. Okay. Oof, this is bad. This is tough. Leave Jane to her own defenses. Give Jane the key. Murder Jane. Oh boy. Oh no, I need to weigh the options in my head. I'm gonna take this out. Okay. Let's think about this. If we give Jane the key, there's no guarantee that she's gonna give Jane the key, just a wild card. Ideally, we would both get to escape together, and then we'd be happily ever after the end, and then we'd all live happily ever after, but what if she just takes it and runs? Or what if she takes it and then actually sticks with me, but then the other people come after us? Ooh, but I don't want her to... I don't want to murder her either. Okay. I kind of want to murder her, but at the same time... Oh, this is tough. This is really tough. Do I go with the humane option again? Or do I just murder her all the same? Wow. Okay. Would it be a mercy killing if I killed Jane? Well, it would be a mercy killing. Or we could just leave. Screw it, I'm gonna give her the key.
Take it.
I handed the key to the frightened teenager.
What?
Take it and try to get out of here. Go without me.
Are you serious? What about you? You're staying here in the den of killers?
Only one of us will be allowed to get out, and I'm making the choice that you will, not me.
You're choosing to stay, even though it might mean you'll die?
I guess I am.
Clyde pushed Jane away, practically knocking her to the ground.
Here's your head start. I suggest you take advantage of it before any of my kin finally hunt you down.
Jane shot me a confused glance and then finally scampered to her feet and ran off with the key. Okay, yeah, that thing happened where she just leaves without me. So what's gonna become of me?
You realize they'll probably catch her before she gets out, right? And even if they don't, there's booby traps on the outside.
My heart sunk down past my gut. Have all my ventures really been fruitless in helping them? Were none of my high school peers going to make it out of this place alive? I don't know what that was.
They probably will be. But we're family. We have disagreements sometimes.
You're the most dysfunctional... No, actually, they're actually a really functional family. They're just all psychopaths.
And what of your trial? Did I pass it?
There was no right or wrong answer. I just wanted to know.
Are you angry with me for giving her the key?
Maybe part of me hoped you would. Maybe I've been hoping for an angel. That you were going to be this untouchable good. Far beyond what I deserved. And far beyond my reach.
So you were hoping I would try to leave too?
No. I wanted you to stay. I want you to stay.
So what now?
I guess we see the verdict.
I made my way to the final room, feeling relatively dazed and anxious after all that I had witnessed and experienced this night. The family had already been waiting for me when I entered, and all expectantly had their gaze upon me. I was hesitant to speak, but sometimes I felt the need to break the ice.
So what now? I'm here.
You're here. So what? You think that's like the end goal or something?
I glanced around the room, reading their expressions and catching on to what was happening. Clyde was standing in the corner, a grimace on his face. Elijah snuck his way behind me, snatching the knife from my boot before closing the door and blocking my one known exit.
No fucking way. I'm here. I tried.
Oh no.
No one gives a rat's ass.
Sorry, but that wasn't the point of any of this. We only asked one thing of you. It wasn't very much, but you couldn't do it.
I tried to make eye contact with Clyde, demanding his attention and action.
Clyde? You too?
I'm sorry, Jay.
Wait.
Don't be harsh on it. We had an agreement. He's just abiding to it.
So, should I...
Glances were made at Clyde for some sort of action or response. I think that's up to Clyde.
I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll take care of it like I promised.
What? You?
Clyde asked me to do it if she failed. He didn't really want her to suffer.
I don't think I can watch either.
You can leave if you need to.
Clyde straightened himself up and made his way toward the door.
I'm so sorry, Shay.
So it's just a bad ending. That's... What? He left the room and I met eyes with the man to be my murderer. Wait, no, it's not over yet.
I do hope you understand that it's nothing personal. I'd also appreciate it if you didn't fight back. That way I can make it quick and easy.
It's nothing personal, then what is it? Wait, This is boggling my mind. I shook my head in disbelief and mortal fear. Suicidal or not, having someone take your life was a very unsatisfying feeling. But then again, I suppose I can't say that I didn't see it coming. I felt tears rush down my cheeks as I clawed at my scalp on either side of my head, making my way toward him.
Fine, just get it over with.
Oh, my face was suddenly met by his hands, and I soon found my back was pressed against his front. He meant to suffocate me, and that's exactly what he did. I was unsure if it was anger, fear, or even peace I was feeling. Everything was over now, and perhaps it was what I wanted, but was too scared to do myself. Dead end, black nightshade. Oh my gosh. That was so ridiculous. I don't even know. I kind of had the feeling that something bad was gonna happen if I gave Jane the key. And so something bad did happen. I don't know what I expect. I kind of wanted to murder Jane and just get it over with. I don't know if that would have made any difference in the outcome. I don't know how many endings there actually are to this thing. And like how every decision manipulates each different outcome that I could possibly have. Maybe an outcome where I actually do escape, or if I actually had to perform the trials correctly to get out, or if it was really up to that final Jane decision. I don't know. That was really something interesting. I'm gonna take these out now. That was really interesting. You know, if you guys like visual novel games, which are like choose your own adventure, then you should give it a shot. I really recommend you do. You know, I also appreciate all the voice acting efforts that were put into it. Not just mine, but like everyone's across the board. I think everyone did a very fine job, a very solid job of performing. So yeah, there's really not much else to say except this was Tints of Black. I hope you enjoyed it. I know let me say what I thought. I thought it was rather entertaining. When I knew it was a visual novel game, I kind of figured, oh, it would be more like reading and listening than actually playing stuff. So I knew I had an idea what I was getting into. But still, I thought it was really interesting. And I kind of want to go back through it again to see if I can get the good ending. Which, if you think about it, there's no good ending. Because either you die or everyone else dies and then you leave. Or they just kill you anyways. Like, there's really no inherently good ending. And that's... I'm reading too much into this. Alright, I'm just gonna call it. Well, guys, this has been Tints of Black. If you like how it turned out, leave a like. If you really liked it, then subscribe. If you would like to hit me up for my voice acting services, shoot me an email and we'll talk. Also, I want to know what you guys think. Do you want me to post some voice acting content on this channel? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Link to the game will be in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.